I come up with the name for my blog? That Girl is Funny. Well, as it turns out, there were people in my life who didn't recognize or know that I was funny. When I got on Facebook, suddenly there was an opportunity for me to be more playful and just in my communication with people. That's just how it is on Facebook. And several people said to me, Cheryl, I didn't know you were funny. I thought that was hilarious because I think I'm very funny. But I guess maybe I have a dry sense of humor or an unusual sense of humor, and people didn't really notice, or maybe, I don't know, work situations or business situations. Um, that side of me just didn't come out. But it does come out on my blog, so if you're interested to know more, please do check me out at thatgirlisfunny.com. What inspired me to get into blogging? Well, I was curious because I had no idea what blogging was. I heard people talk about Facebook. I had no idea what that was. I don't even think I'd even heard of Twitter when I got into blogging. So pretty much it was my curiosity that got me involved. And then I've discovered that I could be creative, very creative online. I could express different sides of myself. I started to meet people. I started to find people who were interested in talking about what I liked to talk about, which isn't always available to me in my real life. So I got really intrigued, and now a year later, I find that the best part of blogging is the relationships that I built and the communities that I'm in, and the range of experience and knowledge and sharing and actual intimacy, funny enough. Online, people are very willing to share their lives, parts of their lives, online. That's what I love about it. What frustrates me the most about social media is the fact that it's so diffuse. I mean, you go onto a place like Stumble Upon or something like that, and it's like, well, how do I get people gathered up to look at my blog post? Why should they look at mine? There are so many. The same thing with YouTube, the same thing with Twitter. There's so many competing voices. How do we gather people up into smaller groups so that we can be more effective with each other? Uh, my belief, just like in life, just like in regular life, in real life, that the more people cluster together in smaller networks or smaller groups, the more effective we're going to be. Because otherwise, you're just one lone blog post out there in the blogosphere, not really getting much attention. And the other thing, of course, is time. How do we manage our time so that we can have quality time on each one of the very special social networks that we belong to? And then the third one is understanding the differences between the particular social media types so that you can figure out how to be most effective on Twitter. It's not the same as being the most effective on Facebook. It's definitely not the same as being the most effective on YouTube. There are similarities, but defining the differences is what makes it interesting, what makes it fun, and definitely what makes it challenging and frustrating. Definitely, unfortunately, frustrating. So, do women face different challenges from men in using social media? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that both men and women employ the same types of strategies in addressing Twitter or Facebook. I think it has more to do with how willing we are to take risks. And if there's a difference between men and women taking risks, well, depends on the man, depends on the woman. Um, I find that social media allows us to present different sides of ourselves, perhaps sides that we aren't normally allowed or don't feel as confident in expressing. So for me, it was in being funny. I guess I wasn't always funny in front of everyone that I knew, but certainly when I got online and I started to get on Facebook, that funny side came out. So I think that social media actually allows us to take more risks and to find new sides of ourselves that haven't been expressed. So no, I don't think there's a difference. I don't think it's a man or woman difference. I think it's just a matter of willingness to take a risk and to show different sides of yourself and to share different sides of yourself. Well, so that's another interesting question. How do you cut through the clutter and communicate with credibility online? Um, One of the things I notice when I go to other blogs is I want to know, what do they look like? Who am I even talking to? So I like to read blogs that have the blog owner's photo pretty prominently displayed. I like to see them in different ways, not just that one profile picture, but let me see you in your life. And it's also important for me to know who else knows them that I know. So I'll often go down the list of people who've left comments to see if I just recognize anyone's name. And it's always good to know that somebody that I already have respect for or belief in, or I recognize their credibility. It's always good to see one of their names on that list of commenters. So a best kept secret for growing blog traffic. I would say what's worked best for me is that I've joined a couple of uh, um, commenting groups. These are groups of bloggers who just get together and we support each other. We each take a turn, we have a particular day, and then our blog post gets promoted. Social media gets commented on. And what comes out of that is that you actually get to know these other bloggers, a small group of other bloggers, develop relationships, create community, become friends. So suddenly you're not so alone online, and traffic grows. Traffic comes out of that because these other bloggers that I'm in the group with are well known, and they have their own particular Twitter lists and stumble upon groups. So that's been the most effective and my best kept secret. Thanks, Tom. See you around the blogosphere.